Good morning, church. You can feel the power and the fire of the Holy Spirit here, absolutely. From worship to this word that's been given, I want to share with you a journey that the Holy Spirit has brought me on in the past year. And He has given me a progression of 3 words that started with pause. Not to get ahead of where God is bringing you. Then it went to reflect, to actually turn around and see where we've been, but not to get stuck there. And then now to where we are today, and that's remembrance, and a deep, deep call to remembering exactly who God is and what He has done for us. Because let's be honest, this world is hard. Even in our first world problems, our trials and tribulations are big and they are deep. But He's calling us to remember His faithfulness. And so I want to walk you through 3 spiritual truths that the Holy Spirit has led me through over this past year. And the first one is that we tend to have spiritual amnesia. If we just look at the Israelites when they were exiting out of Egypt, and they saw the power of God firsthand. They saw the waters part. They saw manna fall from heaven. But when things got uncomfortable, when they felt pressed, they appeared to completely forget the faithfulness of God. And even Moses says in Deuteronomy 8:2, remember how the Lord your God led you all the way, not halfway, all the way through the wilderness these 40 years. And I find it interesting that when they got hungry, I say hangry, when they got hangry, they wanted to go back to Egypt. They wanted to go back to that place that God freed them from. And we have to remember that's what the enemy wants to do to you. That when you feel pressed, he wants you to remember the comfort of captivity while God is saying, don't forget the flavor of freedom. The flavor of freedom. Taste and see that the Lord is good. So let's not be a people that are blinded by our present discomfort, but let's remember and taste that flavor. Number 2 is that humans tend to have a spiritual drifting. We see that in the Israelites. We can't blame them. We do the same thing. But God even then made a system to help them remember. Now then, it was to pick up these physical stones to make that altar, to make that memorial. After that victory, I want you to remember this place. I want you to remember me. So when they crossed that Jordan going into the promised land, we have Joshua say in 4:7, these stones are to be a memorial to the people of Israel, you to remember forever. It's generational. It's not just for you. It's for your children, your children's children, and your neighbor. But what's awesome in the new covenant is that we don't have to carry around these stones. You are the stone. Peter says that we are living stones being built into a spiritual house. God is your cornerstone, and you take Him with you. So to prevent that spiritual drifting, you need to be in those spiritual disciplines. Prayer, fasting, journaling, and that's how you can take this stone with you everywhere you go. The last one that I found that the Holy Spirit told me is that we tend to have a spiritual paralysis. That when we do pause and He has us be still in that moment, He has us turn around and reflect. Sometimes we can reflect and be too much into our pain. You hear a common theme, don't you, today? And that is, do not focus too much on your pain, but look ahead to see what God is doing. He tells us that He is making a way in the desert lands. He is doing something new, and He wants to do that with you. And I think the most important thing about that is when you're turning around and you are reflecting, it's that you can't walk in today's victory when you are bound in yesterday's memory. So we're going to give that up, and we're going to focus on the faithfulness of God. So I do believe that the greatest example of remembrance is Jesus at that Last Supper. He broke that bread and he lifted that cup and he said, what? Do this in remembrance of me. Don't forget my sacrifice. Don't forget my faithfulness and my love. So I pray we have a heart of Lamentations 3:19 through 23 that says, the thought of my suffering and homelessness is bitter beyond words. I will never forget this awful time as I grieve over my loss. Yet I still dare to hope when I remember this. The faithful love of the Lord never ends. His mercies never cease. Great is his faithfulness. His mercies begin afresh each morning. So my challenge to you is remember his faithfulness.